Oh, Betsy, you trying to kill me? Come on, out the kitchen, please. Out. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Yeah, the cat's just tried to kill me. We're getting desperate here now. When I go live, she starts. There you go. You can see her there. She starts meowing. I think she's trying to tell me that she wants her own YouTube channel. Then she started making appearances like she is now. I think she's definitely trying to tell me she wants her own YouTube channel. And just a few minutes ago, I was just about to go live and she tripped me up. And now she's perched here. And I think that's her way of telling me, move over, move over. It's the Betsy show. It's time out with Betsy instead of time out with Angela. Yeah. I think that's the message she's trying to give me. But she is not allowed on the surfaces. Are you, Betsy? Come on down. This is my secret weapon. It's filled with water. Job done. So I keep this handy now and just spray her. Because they say water is a great trainer with cats. So there we go. I'm alive. I've not fallen over. I've not broken my leg, although I think that was her plan. She wanted this to be the Time Out with Betsy show. So she started again. Yeah, I'm going to have to set up her own YouTube channel, I think. Anyway, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. It is great to have you with me. I hope you're well. I hope you have had a lovely, lovely, lovely day and all is well with you. Hi, Vic. Great to have you with me. Yes, she is adorable. She is very rare. She's a Bengal, and Bengal are pedigree cats, not like your moggies that you see everywhere. So she's rare on that level, but she is, as you saw, she's white. She is a snow leopard lynx with blue eyes and a white coat. So she's exceptionally rare. Yeah. And she's a diva as well. You can hear her. Anyway, I hope you're well. Thank you so much for joining me today. So I've got a couple of things to share with you today. So I'm going to tell you about my lunch today. I know it was proper. It was absolutely proper. Clean bowl. It was so nice. And I ended up, because I showed you this morning, if you were with me this morning, I showed you what I was going to have for my lunch, and it was my fruits. Well, I was going to have my the Kvarg yogurt with some fruits for my first meal at break time. And I ate the Kvarg yogurt, but I didn't get around to eating my fruits. And then at lunchtime, I had my chicken burger. And that was proper, because I'd really seasoned the chicken really well. So it was absolutely bursting with flavour. But I ended up having it cold. Yeah, decided to have it cold. Oh, it was just so nice. And then my fruits for the afternoon, I didn't eat them. I just wasn't hungry. So I brought them back with me. And just as I was setting up, I ate the berries, the blackberries, and one slice of the apple. But most of my peanut almond butter is still there. And this is something I want to talk to you about a little bit later. About, because I've been, you guys asked me, Betsy is driving Billy the cat mad. Oh, is she? Oh, can your cat hear her? Yeah. Hold on a minute. Betsy, shut up. You're disturbing the peace in the cat neighborhood. It's done the trick. There we go. Yeah, she's quieting down. See, she listens to me. She listens to my voice. So I've been asked, you guys keep asking me such great questions, and I've been asked a really, really, really good question about intermittent fasting. And I'm going to do my shopping haul, and I'm going to tell you about intermittent fasting, because if you follow me, you know that I'm not following Weight Watchers as a weight loss program. And I was asked a brilliant question, and somebody asked me, now that I've left Weight Watchers, am I following any weight loss program? And the answer is no, I'm not. However, I am still doing intermittent fasting, although I don't see intermittent fasting as like a diet. For me, it's about a time of eating. And I'm going to talk to you and tell you a little bit more about that and how that works for me. Because, every day I show you my lunch, I'm bringing half of it back home. I'm just not hungry, And that is down to intermittent fasting, I believe. And that is what gives me consistent weight loss. And apart from yesterday, increased energy. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that to answer that question. But in the meantime, I'm going to share with you my shopping haul. So I went shopping yesterday. I mentioned it in my video yesterday, and I got back and I was just so tired. I just needed to close my eyes for a few minutes. So I'm going to show you that. And then I've been to Aldi today on my way home from work, and I'm going to show you what I picked up. Okay, so in Tesco's yesterday, I picked up some more of these. I love my Ryvitas, absolutely love them. I have them as instead of bread, I do eat a little bit of bread, but instead of bread, I tend to go for Ryvita. And they do 4 different types, but I picked up this one, the cracked black pepper. I really like that. And I love this with cream cheese with cucumbers, or avocados with cucumbers, hummus, anything like that. It makes a great base to build on. You could put protein on that, ham or tuna or chicken or turkey, anything like that. Absolutely fabulous. So I really, really like that. And I'm down to my last 3 in the cupboard, 3 slices, so I'll pick some more of that up. I also picked this one up, which is the Sultana currant seed and oat fruit crunch. Again, it's exactly the same as the Ryvita, but this is more of a sweet texture. It's not hugely sweet, but for me, it's a great alternative to a biscuit. What I often do is I would layer it up with, say, like my almond butter. I do have some chocolate spread. I bought it at Christmas. I think I've used it once, but if I really wanted something sweet and chocolatey, I could layer that on. But again, a great alternative if you... She's at it. Sorry about that, guys. Betsy, can you be quiet, please? Honestly, she's such a diva. So instead of a biscuit, I do like these. Yeah, it's got all the goodness that you get in like your regular Ryvita, packed full of goodness. It's got in, and this is what I like about these, it's full of magnesium and iron and zinc. Yeah, something you don't often get when you're having a biscuit. So you're going to get that biscuit crunch. It's not as sweet as a biscuit, I'm admitting, but it is nice to have with a cuppa. But it's got all those macronutrients in. It is, if you're counting points, I think it's 1 point per slice. And if you're counting calories, it's 56 calories per slice. So yeah, these are £2 each in Tesco's. So every now and again they go on offer for £1, and then I'll pick up a few there. Okay, so that's that. Then I picked up these, the rice crackers. This is sweet chili, and normally I like the they do the sweet chili, but they do like a really spicy peppery one, and I do prefer that. And I picked this one up by mistake. But these are rice crackers. I mean, they haven't got a lot of nutrition in them. There is a little bit of protein in there, but it's a nice alternative. Like if I'm having soup, or you know, a nice alternative to crisps as well. It's a nice alternative. You're going to get that crunch. And four of these little crackers is one portion. So, and one portion is 106 calories if you're counting calories. And I think it's like 1 point if you're following the Weight Watchers plan. So yeah, I'm really pleased with those. I also picked up some whole grain rice, because I've got some prawns in the freezer and the other week I did like my stir fried prawns. I want to make some more with this, so pick this up. And I do like basmati, and I love jasmine rice. Last time I did it with jasmine rice, oh my goodness, so flavorful. But this time I went for the whole grain, yeah, because I still lean. I say I'm doing it, but I've been doing it for a long time. I lean more towards whole foods, and whole grain is a great option. Picked up some Pink Lady apples. I love my apples, as you see. Where's it gone? As you see, I like to have my apples with me almond butter, although I will eat these later. I won't let it go to waste. Normally what I do, if I don't eat it later, it goes in the fridge and it goes back to work with me the next day. So it never gets wasted. But I've got some Pink Lady apples for the same sort of reason, to slice up and to munch on. But I also fancy an apple crumble. So I might make one of those in the next couple of days. And again, apples. These pink apple ladies are super sweet. So again, if you after craving something sweet, it's going to hit that sweet spot. And but they're also full of fiber, and we know that fiber is really good for the gut and the gut health. But also, it's got a pectin and other macronutrients and natural ingredients that stimulate the bowel as well. So really good. It's got, back in the day, my mother would have said it's got roughage. Yeah, it's got roughage. Apples are a good source of roughage, really good for the gut and also the bowels. So yeah, and what's that old saying? An apple a day keeps the doctor away. So, I don't know if that's true now, guys. I really don't know. But it's more like COVID will keep the doctor away, seriously. But there's loads of goodness in apples. And I love a Pink Lady. So I picked those ones up. Okay, I picked up some kefir. You know me, I love my kefir. There's different brands of kefir that I've tried, but I love this brand, the Yo Valley Organic. It's fermented yogurt. It's I did also pick up 4 of these, my Lindhall Kvarg yogurt, and I had one of those today. Phone's going. I will call them back a bit later. Yeah, so I had one for breakfast. So I've got 3 of these left in the fridge. And when I'm like going to work and I just want something like that, I will just use one of these. But if I'm going to do my overnight oats, then I tend to use the kefir. because it's just got that extra little boost in. This has got 15 grams of protein, and this I think has got let's have a little read, per 100 grams, so 350, so 5, 10, 15. Yeah, actually it's about the same. It's about roughly the same amount of protein in it, but for the fact that it's fermented and it's good for the gut biome, I do like to use that, but I will use that just for convenience when I'm going to work. So Vic, you're using some of that rice to make dirty Cajun rice. Oh, Cajun dirty rice. Very nice. Very, very nice. And good evening, Tony. Great to have you with me this evening. Okay, I also picked up these sausages. Now these are 12 Cumberland chipolatas, and they were reduced. So whenever I pick up something reduced and I see this yellow sticker on, I'm always a little bit cautious because, and I always take a moment to work it out, because this is 2 for £5, which means that one would have been roughly £2.50. But when you look at the reduced price, if you just buy one before it's reduced, if you buy one before it's reduced, it would have been £3.25. Okay, so whenever I see something like 2 for £5 or 3 for £5, I always like to make sure that what I'm going to pay is less than that offer. So less than £2.50. So this, they put this originally at £3.25. And if it came down to £2.70, that's not a deal. That's not a deal. If it came down to £2.40, you're only saving 10p. But this has come down to £1.46. So that is a much better deal. So it's always worth having just taking a moment and just double checking the offer price against the price that they're now selling it for. So pick these up. I always like, a good quality sausage. This is Tesco's finest. And this is Tesco's finest, 12 Cumberland chipolatas. So these are going to go in my freezer. Yeah. So, I know, slip of the tongue. I also picked up these, which is some sultanas. When I'm doing my overnight oats, I do like to put a little bit of sultana or dried fruit in, just for that sweetness. So pick that up. Now, I like this brand from Tesco's. This is the Growers Harvest. And this isn't the premium brand. This is kind of like, I don't know, the second or third best, because they go through the machine, they pull out the best, that gets packaged and gets sold for loads of money, and then the deformed ones, the ones that don't hit the grade, goes into it's Tesco's own brand, the Growers Harvest. So this was really, I think this is only about £1 and change, yeah, for a whole bag, which I thought was really, really good. 500 grams. Yeah, really, really good. So pick that up. And I always pick up, I don't know why I do it, honestly. There must be something wrong with me. But I always pick up a random tin of chopped tomatoes and also a random tin of kidney beans. I don't know why I do it. Always pick up, not unless in my old job, if a recipe called for 2 tins, I would pick up 2. But if I'm not cooking something with tomatoes or kidney beans, I just naturally pick up random ones. I don't know why. I think there's something wrong with me. Yeah, I think it's some kind of trauma, childhood trauma, coming back to haunt me. But if you look at my previous shopping hauls, you'll always see I pick up a random tin of chopped tomatoes and kidney beans. Very strange. So again, this is Growers Harvest. I think this was something like 39p, something like this. And this is an Italian chopped tomato. Now, again, nothing special about this other than it's got a pull ring, but it goes in the cupboard. And as and when, I'll just use them up. So that was my haul from Tesco's. I did actually buy something else. It wasn't from Tesco's, it was from Next. What I'll do, I'll take a photo and I'll put it on the community page. And I bought me a candle. It was a lovely candle from Next. And somebody gave me a gift voucher. Not a gift voucher, a gift card. And I've had it for ages. And I was thinking, oh, what can I buy with this? I went into Next. And I thought, oh, no, I'll have a look in. I didn't want clothes because I often think that if somebody gives me like a gift voucher, I'd never buy clothes with it. I always buy something that's going to last me a long time, that I can keep, that I can use. Yeah. So like jewelry or something for the garden or something for the home, you know. So I went in and I saw this lovely candle. It smelled amazing. It's called sea salt. It just smelled delicious, divine. So I bought that, and it's quite deep. It's 500 mils of wax, quite deep. And it was a tenner. It smells amazing. And I'm going to save it and put it in my bathroom because it just smells delicious, absolutely delicious. So yeah, so I bought that, but I'll take a photo and put it on the community page for you. Okay. And then today, after work, I went into Aldi to buy some cat litter. Yeah, because I used to buy cat sand. Nothing wrong with cat sand. I love cat sand. I love the brand. It's really, really good cat litter. Okay, but it's flipping expensive. It's now like over £8 for a little bag like that. It's like a kilo and a half. £8. I know. It's a lot of money. I tell you, these cats, they live better than me. I bought them a bag of cat food the other day. 58 quid. It cost me 58 quid. And the cheek of it, they won't eat it. And I was like, well, it's that or nothing, because I'm not spending any more money buying you chicken. If you've seen any of my shopping hauls, you've seen that I go out and buy them trays of chicken and I cook the chicken for them, spend ages chopping them up and feeding it them. I'm like, no, I can't afford that anymore. Can't afford that. So they're on their cat food and I put it down, and if they don't eat it, that's their business. But when I come home, it's all gone because they'll eat it if they're hungry, you know. So I swapped the cat from Cat San to the Aldi's cat litter. And it's good. It's good. It's good. It does the job. It does the job. And it's only like £2 and change. So it's saving me a shed load of money. So I went specifically to get some. And also there is a brand new Jamaican patty brand that's going to be stocked in Aldi. It's called Flake Bake. They won the Aldi competition. Okay. And so I went in there to try and get some. That's the third time I've been in there to get that. And the guy said they came in on the patties came in the day after the show went live on TV. He said they were sold out in minutes and they've not been restocked. He said they've had numerous inquiries. So he said hopefully they'll get a contract with Aldi's and they'll be stocked. So I keep popping in for that. So really disappointed. So look out for that, guys. It's called Flake Bake. Yeah, Flake Bake. So I went in there looking for that, and also the Kit Kat litter. Didn't have any. I was like, okay. So I'd have to make do with a little bit that they've got left at the moment, and then tomorrow I'm going to have to head off to Aldi and try and get, or a different Aldi to try and get some, because I'm not buying them cat sand. No, not happening. Okay, so I'll show you what I got in Aldi. So I picked these up. I've never seen these before. These are pop outs. And this, I think, is kind of like, you know, we're seeing a lot of popped chips on the market. I know they sell them in Tesco's. They do barbecue and sweet chili flavours. So I thought, oh, I'll give these a go. Give it a try. This one is salt and vinegar. It says 85 calories a serving, and a serving is 20 grams. And there's 100 grams in here, so you're going to get 5 servings. But I also went for the barbecue flavour. Now, barbecue is never my favourite flavour of crisps, but I thought I would just give them a try. Yeah, give them a try. And if nothing else, I can give them to my grandkids, if nothing else. Oh, I'll show you this in a minute. Then I picked up these because, as I said, I bought these ones in Tesco's yesterday. This was the sweet chili, and I saw these. They're exactly the same, but these are lightly salted rice crackers, and these are rice crackers too. So, and usually they just all come from the same factory, just branded differently. So I thought, but you know what? I'm going to give these a try. So yeah, I picked these ones up. And then I picked up some mixed nuts. Well, Brazil nuts, and also some mixed nuts. Nuts are nature's food, and they're so good. So what I try to do is I try to get a little sprinkling of nuts, especially if I do my overnight oats. So what I'll tend to do is like put these in a bag and break them up, crush them up, get my rolling pin, bash them up so that they're small, and then they just go into my nut container. And then when I'm doing my overnight oats, or you know, I'm doing something or like a salad, I can just put a little sprinkling on them. So this one is Brazil nuts, as you can see there, but this one is mixed nuts, and this one contains cashew nuts, hazelnuts, walnuts, and almonds. So a really good mix. And superfoods, because almonds, I've talked about almonds before. Almonds, especially if they've got the brown husk on, amazing. I was listening to Sarah Berry on the Zoe podcast, and she said that almonds should be, along with avocado, should be on prescription, and people should eat them every day, is her recommendation. Really good. Good for balancing hormones. And walnuts, we know, are brilliant for the brain. Again, the hormones it releases, great for the brain. So yeah, so I'm really pleased. And these cost £1.75 each. So I like to get the mixed nuts because then I'm not having to buy 4 or 5 different bags. So yeah, so really pleased with those. And I love Brazil nuts. I will just like take 2 or 3 and just eat them on their own. Love them. Okay, what else did I get? I picked up some basmati rice. Again, for the prawns in the fridge, in the freezer. I've got some chicken. So I might do like another like fried rice with chicken and peppers and all sorts of veggies. So pick that one up. Picked up a cucumber. You know, I like my cucumbers. Picked up some hummus. I've never had Aldi's hummus. I've always had it from Tesco's. But again, you know, you know what? Having, you know, seen lots of programs and been in business and coached in business, I know that a lot of these products, especially with these wrappers on, they just come from 1 or 2 factories that make them for all the brands, all the shops, and then they just brand it with their own wrappers. But that with the date could be any brand, absolutely any brand. and then that is what tells you what the brand is. So I imagine this is going to taste exactly the same as the one in Tesco, so probably double the price. So yeah, got hold of that today. Now, if you saw me last week, I did, I think it was Friday, I cooked some chicken, and then I laid on a wrap. It was the smaller wraps I used last week. I laid on lettuce and then put the chicken in, put a bit of Caesar sauce and wrapped it and rolled it. It was divine. It was absolutely delicious. So I bought some more wraps, but these are tortilla wraps. They're char grilled. So imagine they'll probably taste the same. It's just they've got that char grill look on them, which again, a point of difference. But these are bigger. The ones that I had last week were just like really small ones. So I just thought I would make that again because it was so delicious. So yeah, pick these ones up. Picked up my avocados. I've missed my avocados. I will be honest. It's been a little while since I've had avocados. So I picked these ones up. These ones need to be ripened at home, which is fine. So I'm just going to take them out of the bag and leave them in the kitchen. And then what I'll do, I'll use one at least this week. Yeah, 1 or 2 this week. And then I'll smash the rest up and put it in the freezer. Yeah. So, and when you're smashing them, always use lemon or vinegar because it stops it from going brown. Yeah, it's not a good look when it goes brown, but yeah, lemon will do that. Okay, I picked up these. You know me, I love my toffees. I absolutely love my toffees. Oh, there we go. I was thinking I bought 3 bags and one was hiding. I love my toffees. So I picked these up. These were available in Aldi. Love these. But I also picked up this one, which is the salted caramel fudge. And you can see I've already opened it because I was like, oh, I need to give it a try. It's not for me. And I think partly because I was expecting it to be toffee textured, like that chewy, and it's not. And it's salted caramel, but flipping heck, it's really sweet. So yeah, not my favourite. I am going to put it in the freezer to let it firm up and see if it makes a difference to the texture. But if not, I'll take it to work and I'll give it away to somebody. But mine, yeah, mine. So that's going to last me probably all of a day or 2, maybe 3 days. Just being honest, I love my toffees. And then I picked up some grapes, seedless black grapes. I find that seedless black grapes for me are the sweetest. Green grapes are all right, but sometimes they can be tasteless. But I do like the black grapes or like the red grapes. But out of all the 3 types of grapes, I find the black grapes are the sweetest. So yeah, I always go for black grapes. Oh, Vicky, you like your grapes too? Yeah. And good evening, Horatio. Great to have you with us this evening. So there we go, guys. That is my food shopping haul. That's my haul. And yeah, that's going to last me quite a while. These won't last me very long. I'm just being honest. But everything else will last me a little while. And these days, I don't tend to do like, back in the day, I used to do like a big weekly or fortnightly shop. And I don't tend to do that. I tend to just pick up things as and when I need them, or just buy a few bits, that last me. Yeah, I was thinking about that today as I was driving home, that like my shopping habits have changed. So that's my shopping haul, guys. And what I'm going to do is we're going to do a meal plan. We're going to get meal planning and do some meal plan reviews. But that is only for those in the membership who will have access to Facebook, a private Facebook group. So if you're in the private Facebook group, well, first of all, let me just say a huge thank you to those of you who have signed up for the membership. Really appreciate you. If you're not in the Facebook group, if you've not requested to join me in the Facebook group, please send me a Facebook a join request. I'll add you to the group. Good evening, Emma. Lovely to have you with us this evening, my lovely. Send me a request to the Facebook group. I'll let you in, and then you can then send me your meal plan. If you want me to review your meal plan, if you want us to review it together as a community, it might be that I said this last night to my membership. Doesn't matter what you're doing. You could be counting calories, you could be on Slimming World or Weight Watchers, you could be eating keto or paleo or clean 5, you could be fasting. It doesn't matter what it is, because as far as I'm concerned, it's about food, it's about quantity, it's about that nutrition. So if you are on a plan, on a program, or maybe you're not on a plan or on a program, and you find that you're hungry, send me a meal plan. It could be that you're on a plan and your breakfast is consuming all your points or all your calories at the top of the day, and it's not leaving you enough. Send me your points. Send me your menu plan, your meal plan. It could be that you're lost for ideas and you want something a little bit different. You're getting bored of the same things. Send me your meal plan. And then what we're going to do 2 things in the group, in the Facebook group. We're going to review that menu plan and give you ideas on how to make it more nutritious, more satisfying. And it may be that you've got some goals. Maybe you want to increase the protein and the fiber. Maybe you want to get in the magnesium and the macronutrients to support you through menopause or to support you through different stages of life. Maybe you like the crunch and texture but want to reduce some of those snacks. Maybe you want that sweetness but want to reduce the amount of chocolates or biscuits that you eat. Send us your meal plans and we're going to review it together as a community. And then, in addition to that, I'm also going to put out some meal plan suggestions for us to follow. Okay, so if that is sort of thing that you're interested, then come and join us. Come and join our membership. So that is going to be taking place this week. Okay, loads and loads of exciting things, and that content won't be available on YouTube. That content will only be accessible to the members. Okay, but I had a question. I had a really good question, and I love that you guys ask me questions and you send your question to me in all sorts of ways, and I appreciate that. I'm just amazed that you guys are interested in my journey, in my eating habits, in my weight loss journey, in my lifestyle. So thank you. I appreciate that. So my question was, it was 2 questions. Let me just clarify. So I had a question a couple of weeks ago when I first left Weight Watchers, and I said I wasn't following the Weight Watchers plan. And if the plan and Weight Watchers works for you, go with it. I'm not here to tell you to stop or to do anything different. I'm not. We do what works for us. Okay, so I said that I was going to stop doing it, and somebody asked me, well, are you going to do another plan? She's off again. No, Betsy, this is not the Betsy show. It's Time Out with Angela. What shall I? So I was asked the question, am I going to do another plan, another program, another diet? And the answer to that was a clear, emphatic no. definitely not. But what I forgot to mention, oh yeah, Emma, I've left. Yeah, I left. Hello, my lovely. Yeah, you haven't been on Connect for a while. Yeah, I left. Yeah, about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I've left as a coach, and I've also left Weight Watchers as a program. So I'm sorry if that's news to you. I'm sorry. I just assumed lots of people who follow me here already know that. Yeah, not following the Weight Watchers plan. But the one, and I'm not doing any other diet. Oh, thank you, Emma. Thank you. But you can follow me here. I'm still here, my lovely. So, and I thank you for being here tonight. So, I was asked, well, what am I doing? You know, and I did do a video to explain my strategy for my progress continuing to lose weight. And my strategy, just as a recap, is simplicity. It's simple. You know, I'm not into counting points or sins or calories. I don't want to use an app and having to be thinking about, you know, me portions or weighing or measure. I don't want any of that. I want freedom. I want to be able to look at food, use my education, use my knowledge, and to make good choices for me. Okay, and that you know, I'm not saying that flippantly, yeah, because it's not using a structure that got me 10 stone overweight. Yeah, it's thinking I'm going to eat whatever I want that got me in that position. But I've used the program to help to educate me, not just Weight Watchers, but I've used other sources as well to help to educate me about food, around nutrition, about portion sizes, about what causes and what creates weight loss and consistent weight loss. So I'm now at a stage where I can say I'm not weighing, I'm not measuring, not unless I'm cooking in a recipe. I'm not going to track, and I haven't tracked since September. I'm not counting points or calories or sins, or, you know, I'm not doing any of that. I've gone for freedom, and I've done that for since September last year. And since September, to today, I've lost 19 pounds, and that is no tracking, nothing, none of that structure. But I get that for some people, that structure is important, and that structure was important for me at the start of my journey. But I've now progressed from that. So I'm not following any program. I'm using my knowledge around food, around portions. Portions is so key to me. And you'll know that I use the size of my hand as my guide, because that's relative to my stomach. But the one thing that I am continuing to do is intermittent fasting. That's the only thing in terms of a system, if you like, is intermittent fasting. But I don't see it as a program. For me, it is just, I'm going to start eating at this time or roughly this time, and I finish eating around that time. That is the only thing that I still follow, and that works for me. Okay, and I'll tell you why it works for me. Since one, it's about, for me, building up a pattern. And I don't want to minimize this. It's not like one day I just switched my eating pattern. It's happened over time. Okay. And I used to literally be grazing all day. Yeah. From the moment I woke up, I was grazing all day, grazing all afternoon, and couldn't stop, and continued grazing right up to I went to bed, just constantly hand to mouth, constantly grazing. And the more that I grazed, the hungrier I was. And I came across the work of Dr. Jason Fung because in fact, it was my lupus consultant. I'd gone to see my lupus consultant, and she was like, "Oh, you need to lose weight." I was like, "Yeah, I've heard that for the last 40 years. Tell me something new," And she was like, "Have you tried intermittent fasting?" I was like, "Not heard of that." And she told me to go and research it. She recommended it, and she herself had lost 2.5 stone since I saw her last doing intermittent fasting. So I went home and I told my son, and he's like, yeah, I do intermittent fasting. He said, "Well, we'll do it together." And I was like, "Really? You never told me about that?" So he'd known about it. He was doing it. And I researched it, but there was a lot going on for me and I wasn't in the mindset for it. Okay. So I put it to one side and didn't do anything with it. And I was just plodding on with Weight Watchers. And then I came across it again. And I really listened into Jason Fung, and he really caught my attention because he's a nephrologist. He looks at the kidneys, and he's also a diabetic expert. Okay. He just works with diabetic patients to help them reverse type 2 diabetes. And if you're interested, I would definitely recommend you check him out. Don't take my word for it because I'm not a medical expert, but check out Dr. Jason Fung. Fung is spelled F-U-N-G. Okay. And then I came across Dr. Mindy Peltz, spelled P-E-L-T-Z. And she wrote a book called Fast Like a Girl. Yeah, she wrote a book called Fast Like a Girl. And Dr. Jason Fung has written a book called The Obesity Code. Okay. Oh, Emma, fasting's been intriguing to you. You found out you're pre-diabetic and your doctor said there's good links with fasting helping to reverse it. And you've been following a woman called Dr. Mindy Peltz. Yeah, same one. Absolute brilliant. And those two, Dr. Jason Fung, Mindy Peltz, just type them into Google or YouTube, and anybody who is a reputable podcast, you will find them on there. You'll find them on there. And they've even been on Stephen Bartlett, which is Diary of a CEO. Honestly, they've done so much because their work speaks for itself. So I started listening. They talk about intermittent fasting on the Zoe podcast. You know me, I love that. I've listened to all of their podcast episodes now, and I'm just like catch on any new ones that come out. Dr. Chatterjee, Rangan Chatterjee, I was listening to him the other day, and Mindy Peltz was on there. Oh my goodness, what a podcast that was. I can't begin to tell you how enlightening that was. Because whilst Dr. Jason Fung specializes in intermittent fasting to support people with type 2 diabetes, Mindy Peltz specializes around intermittent fasting specifically for women, especially hormonal women during perimenopause. If I find the link, I'll post it. Absolutely flipping incredible. And some of the things, and I feel validated because both of them, including Dr. Jason Fung, talk about we live in a culture, we live in a society where there is an abundance of food. And we are just like, yeah, we've got all of this food. Let's munch it all down. Let's eat as much as we can, eat till we're satisfied. And the damage that is doing to our bodies over a long period of time. And that's why, there were some things that, as much as I loved the Weight Watchers program, there were some things I couldn't agree with. And that was one of them was, fill your plates, even if it's full of vegetables, or just fill your plate. We're still overeating. We're still overeating. And then because we're so used to eating this massive plateful of vegetables, when we're not eating those vegetables, we still want big portions. Yeah. So, I mean, you're going to have to listen. I'll try and find it and post it for you. Absolutely fantastic. And then the other thing she said was in this podcast with Dr. Rangan Chatterjee was, and I used to work with this bloke. He was a hugely successful businessman, and he started this program called Primal Living. And I've got his book, fascinating, and he's worked with, goodness me, so many experts. He's not a medical professional, but he has got a lot of research, done a lot of research with them, and they actually supported him to write this book. And where was I going with this? Yeah, so he has started this program called Primal Living, and it was interesting. When I was listening to Minzy Patz, her concept is we need to go back to primal living. We need to look at what our ancestors were eating and find how we can replicate that in our day to reverse the hormone imbalance. Honestly, it is so fascinating. And when we go back, and I've often talked about when I look back, and I was saying all this without even knowing that this is what their theories was, because to me that's common sense. I'm like, come on, I don't need an app to tell me how to eat. Yeah. Oh, you had an interesting call with Sandra Roycroft Davies, the founder of Slim Pod. Oh, Slim Pod. You'll have to tell me a bit about that, Vic. Yeah. And to me, it became common sense. And I started looking at my grandparents, the way they ate. And my grandparents in the Caribbean and my aunts never had a problem with obesity. However, my parents did when they came to England. And there was this abundance of food. But not just the abundance, the quality of the food as well. And I started looking at that, and in my little brain, I was just thinking, there's something not right here. There's something not right. And then I look back at generations and generations, and I've often said this on podcasts, that when I look back, and you just look at photographs of people in Victorian times, and yes, there was a lot of poverty, there was a lot of disease, and people died early. But when you look at middle class, even the wealthy people, they weren't big, they weren't obese. Yeah, when you look back in the generations and different cultures, the only people that suffer with obesity, I shouldn't say the only people, but a lot of people who suffer with obesity are those who have access to abundance of food. So this started, as you know, guys, I'm a thinker. And I started looking at things and like, something's not right here. We've got a society, we've got a culture where we have access to food 24/7. Yeah, you can call for a pizza at any time of the day or night. You can order a full-blown meal. You can order a feast and it turns up in your doorstep within 45 minutes. Somebody else has cooked it. We've got an abundance to that. And I'm not saying that that's right or wrong. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying that we have got an abundance of that. But then when you start looking at the correlation of the obesity problem, you see that the more, when you see kids, teenagers, children, young children, huge obesity problem. Where are they eating? What are they eating? Very little home cooked food. So, when I stopped and I started thinking about this, I was like, here I am using an app, counting calories, tracking points for the wrong thing in my mind. I'm trying to lose weight using foods that are going to keep me overweight and keep me sick. Didn't make sense to me. So that's why I went on this journey, and a lot of I've done some training and courses around nutrition. I wanted to know about the foods that were going to support my body. Yeah, the foods that were going to support my body, the foods that were going to get me well. And that's why I switched my focus from weight loss to improving my health. And when I started to focus on the foods that are nutritious and healthy, and that's going to help me with weight loss, apart from me toffees, which is me indulgence, and me crisps, which is me indulgence, most of my food is whole foods, things that is going to nourish my body and put nutrients in there. And when I started doing that, I was like, well, why do I need to track these things? My grandparents never done that. They never had an app. They weren't like, oh, I've eaten 3 apples today. Let me track that. They weren't doing that. They were moving a lot, and they didn't have the abundance of food and the quality of food. And by quality, I don't necessarily mean good, because just because you've got an abundance of food, you only need to go to a buffet, eat at a buffet, and you can make that decision whether that's quality food. Oh, Dale Pinnock, the medical chef. Oh, I'll check that out. Indeed, Vic, we've become greedy, and we no longer eat for fuel. Exactly. We eat because the marketing companies has told us that, have that pizza, have that takeaway. You don't even have to cook. You can order your meal in. Betsy, come down, baby. There we go. It's just water, guys. It's just water. So I started looking at that, and then I started looking at my portions, because I'm a firm believer the size of your hand should be the size of your portions, and started to realize that I was overeating. Because there was such an abundance of food. I could go to bed on a full stomach and wake up 6, 7, 8 hours later and still start grazing again. So when I started listening to Minzy Pelton, well, it was Jason Fung first of all, I realized actually there's something not quite right. So I started listening, because I was like, okay, my son lost absolutely shed loads of weight doing intermittent fasting. And he'd be like, right, it's 12 o'clock, need to start eating now. Or, right, it's 6 o'clock, I've got to get my last meal in. And he was very strict with it. He lost a shed load. And I'm not saying that is right for everybody, because it clearly isn't, and if you decide to do or want to know more about intermittent fasting, I recommend you go and do your own research and then talk to your doctor about it, because pregnant women shouldn't do intermittent fasting. If you've got an eating disorder, diagnosed eating disorder, that's definitely not for you. If you've got if you suffer with mental health problems, again, may not be right for you. Definitely talk to your doctor about that. So I wanted to do this. I was like, right, I need to, my doctors recommended it. And they recommended it for me for a number of reasons. One, for weight loss. She said it's going to give you more energy, because I tell you, I had no energy. When I tell you, I was literally sapped. I remember sort of at that point in my life, I would, go out to the supermarket down the road. And my partner at the time, he would drive me, and I'd be literally bent over this trolley. I'd do the shopping, and I'd get home, and he'd be like, let me get you into the house. And he would get the shopping out, put it away. I had no energy. I'd like literally stretched out on the sofa. I was like zonked. It was literally like somebody unplugged me. I had no energy. And I was on treatment for that, chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia. And so that was one of the other reasons. She said it's going to improve your energy levels. It's going to improve your cognitive process, because I'd be like, I'd get in the car and I'd start driving, and I think, where am I going again? Couldn't remember where I was going. And, it sounds funny, but it wasn't funny. Wasn't funny when you end up like 10 miles down the road and you haven't got a clue where you're going or how to get back. That's serious. You said it's going to improve your cognitive processes, it's going to improve your energy levels, it's going to make you feel better. I was feeling like shite all the time, not just the odd day. I've told you before on these lives, I was bad. I was seriously ill. And then my sleep was shocking. So I started looking into it, listening. I was like a sponge. I was literally soaking up everything from Dr. Jason Fung. And I found him first. And it was in the last year or two, I found Dr. Minzy Peltz. I did find other people, but I wanted to go straight to the source. And really sort of listened to everything he had to say. And I was like, because he was a diabetic expert as well. And I was like, that makes sense for me. So Emily says, you're struggling with Weight Watchers as you're eating nearly all zeros. And then you're left with about 20 points. So you end up eating rubbish to use them up. And you've been stuck for months. I hear you, my darling. I hear you. And you're not alone. You're not alone. A lot of people are very similar. And there's all sorts of reasons for that. It could just be that people feel that they have to eat those all those zeros, and then it's kind of like, what do I use my points for? And then it's a vicious cycle. It's a cycle. So I started listening to Jason Fung, Dr. Jason Fung, literally absorbing. I think I've probably listened to every podcast out there with him on. I couldn't get enough of it, because it was it was resonating with me around my diabetes. And people who are within the perimenopause stage and postmenopause, they will resonate with Dr. Minzy Peltz. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So I started trying it. And let me tell you, it's not easy. It's not easy. So as I mentioned, I was an all-day grazer. I was grazing all day, every day. From the moment I woke up to I went to bed, and I was never satisfied. Never satisfied. So Minzy Peltz said, just whatever time you start eating, just push it back 15 minutes. So if you start eating at 8, push it back to 8:15. But if you can, to 7:30, okay? Just push it back for a week. See how you get on. If 7:30, if you're too hungry for 7:30, do it at 8:15. Okay, do it for a week. And then after that week, push it back a little bit. So your body's gotten used to it. To 7:30, push it back to 9 o'clock. Yeah, before you start eating. But if 9 o'clock, you can't wait till 9 o'clock, push it to 8:45. Yeah. And you just keep doing it incrementally like that. Incrementally, little bit, little bit, little bit. So it's not like, so people often say, oh, I can't do intermittent fasting because I'm starving. They just don't understand what it is. Okay. They just don't understand. So you're pushing it back. Yeah. Just a little by little by little until you get to an eating window that works for you. Okay. And then you do that the other end of the day. So if you normally finish eating at 8 o'clock, then you push it back to 7:30, then 6:30, or 6, then 6:30. Okay, you just push it back till you find the window that works for you. So before, when I was working at home, my window was 11:30 to 6 o'clock. Okay, that is when I would eat in that window. And then the rest of the time from 7:30 or 7 o'clock at the absolute latest till the next morning, I'm fasting. And for anybody that says, I don't believe in intermittent fasting, I'm not going to fast, I don't fast, that's a load of rubbish. Let me tell you, everybody fasts. Because when you're sleeping, you're fasting. Your body is in a state of sleep. You're not eating. Your body is fasting. Okay? So that's just there for anybody who says, I don't believe in it. You're doing it anyway. Okay? So I started pushing it back. So when I was working at home, my eating window was 11:30, 12 o'clock. That was the time that I would start eating, and I would finish eating about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at the absolute latest. That worked for me. But there's all sorts of patterns, all sorts. A very typical one is 16-8, which means you've got 16 hours of fasting, 8 hours window where you're eating. But Minzy Pants says also a great way to get started is if you start eating at 8 o'clock in the morning, carry on eating until 8 o'clock at night at your latest, and then you've got a full 12 hours fasting. Yeah, so you finish eating at 8 o'clock in the evening, and then from 9, 10, 11, 12 right through to 8 o'clock in the morning whilst you're sleeping, you're fasting. That is a great start. Or if you start eating at 9 o'clock, you finish eating at 9 in the evening. Yeah, so that is a really easy, simple way to get started. But at the end of the day, find a pattern that works for you. The sun is coming in and my lighting's going all over the place. So that worked for me. And when I started doing that, I noticed so much. My sleep, incredible. Apart from when I'm in pain with my arthritis, my head hits the pillow out like a light. I've slept through earthquakes, tornadoes, kicking off in the grove. I've slept through all of that. Head hits the pillow out like a light. Because for me, I can't sleep on a full stomach. I can't. Okay, that's just me and my body. But intermittent fasting, so I finish eating at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and saying that I'm looking at the time and I haven't had my dinner yet. There's going to be a late one for me tonight. But when I finish eating, my body has got a good 4 hours or so or more to digest the food before I go to sleep. That works brilliantly for me. And then now that I'm at work, I do start eating earlier. So I'm just seeing how the land lies, so I can find a new eating pattern. I'm aiming to keep that pattern at about 10:30, 11. So I miss that early breakfast, and the first thing I eat is going to be about a break time. Okay, but that might vary. And I'm moving a lot more as well, so I feel hungrier. but I'm just trying to push it back and find that balance. But I can, apart from tonight, finish eating 6 o'clock, 7 at the absolute latest. Now I'm going to be obviously eating after 7 o'clock tonight, and either I'm going to have to go to bed later or I'm going to have to put up with a little bit of disturbed sleep. That is just me and my body and what works for me. But also, when you start doing some research, and if you're interested in intermittent fasting, I do recommend that you do your own research, because I can't explain it because it's all medical. But when you start exploring and hearing about how it works, how not eating food and giving your body a break, the benefits that it has for your body has an opportunity to do what they call autophagy, which is the cells start to clean up themselves because they've got time. It's kind of like if you are working out, you're not working out 24/7, it's 12 hours a day. You're having a break. You have a break so that your body can recover and it can heal. And then you get back on it the next day. And it's the same with food. Yeah. If we're always constantly grazing, our bodies just don't have the time to do what it's designed to do, which is you clean itself up. So honestly, I highly recommend it. And it's not about starving. It's not about, let me see how long I can go without eating. It's not about that, because you have to nourish your body. You create that window and you say, okay, at 11 o'clock, I'm going to eat. I'm going to nourish my body. I'm going to put food in my body, so my body has that fuel. And then I'm going to stop eating at a certain time. So I've eaten, and then in the fasting time, my body has time to clean it up. So there's so many different patterns. Some people do 1 meal a day, also known as OMAD. Some people do that. Some people do water fast. But if you do water fast, you need to get good advice. I've never done a water fast. There's all sorts of fasting methods. Yeah. But you find one that works for you. So that is the only thing that I am going to continue, apart from going back to basics: sensible meals, home cooked food, whole foods, portion control. It's the only thing I'm going to do. So, and let me just tell you, so today, I mentioned earlier that whenever I take meals, I take 3. Today I took a Kvarg yogurt. I took a Kvarg yogurt one. I was looking to show you one, but you know what a Kvarg yogurt looks like. Took one of these. I ate that at break time. I took some fruit. It was my intention to eat it. Wasn't hungry after eating that. And then I ate my chicken burger, which was a bagel thin, nice piece of well-seasoned chicken with some salad and a bit of brown sauce. Absolutely delicious. And then in the afternoon, I was like, am I hungry? No, not hungry at all. It's 7:15 and I'm still not hungry. But I know I need to eat, because it's not just about, I have to fuel my body. And that is the other benefit that intermittent fasting over a period of time has done for me. I did have a few berries just before I started this live, and over time, that's what it's done for me. Apart from yesterday, my energy levels are good. I sleep really well. My skin, my nails, all really good. I feel brilliant, because my body has had the time to clean itself up, those cells. And as a result, as well as like my portions and eating that highly nutritious food, getting rid of that I say getting rid, I still do have, and I've always said I'm not an angel, I still have some ultra processed foods, still have some, but as much whole foods as I can. That has just revolutionized what I've done. And 119 pounds down. And I know when I get on the scales at the end of the month, in about a week's time, I know that I've lost a load more weight. I can feel it. I can feel it in my body. Absolutely feel it. And I had some trousers on the other day, and they fit like close. These are like my proper skinny leggings. And 2 years ago, you know, you women, you'll understand this. You know, when you pick up a pair and you look at that and you think, they're never going to fit me. Yeah. I was like that with these leggings, like really thick quality leggings. I was like, they're never going to fit me. Anyway, when I started back in March, I thought, I'm going to try them on and then I'll have a nice pair of work trousers. And they got on, but I had to wriggle into them and they were fine. And I wore them last week and they were baggy in the bum and in the leg. And I was like, okay, it could be that they've got stretched in the tumble dryer or the washing machine. And I would say that if I didn't feel it in my body. Yeah. And again, it's consistent weight loss. One, because of educating myself around the good quality foods that I'm having that's keeping me fuller for longer, prevents me from grazing, and allows me then to get that good quality nutrition in that allows me then to be satisfied with my meals within my eating window. And then outside of that, I'm fasting. I did have a question when I talked about fasting before, and somebody asked, do I drink anything? Yes, plenty of water, because as your body is fasting and that autophagy and that internal cellular process is going on, you need water to cleanse, to flush your body out, to keep you hydrated. You need lots of water. So in your fasting period, drink plenty of water. Yeah. I personally tend to steer away from teas and coffees. If I do have a hot drink, it'll be like a herbal, but I tend to stay away from the tea and coffee, but plenty of water. But for me, it's just such a lifestyle. I don't even think about it anymore. Yeah, I have to have a visual reminder to say, oh, it's 10 to 7 now, and I haven't eaten, not hungry. I know that I can go in the bath and get ready for bed without eating, just not hungry. I've had 2 meals today, but I know that I need to fuel my body. So whereas when I've done, in the past, I've fueled my body, but not always with the right things. But when you fuel your body with the right things and the right quantities, whether you do intermittent fasting or not. And in fact, I decided I don't like that term intermittent fasting. I don't like it. I use it, but I don't like it. I use it so that people know what I'm talking about, because everybody's heard about intermittent fasting. But I just think that with that brings so many connotations, and people make assumptions, and they're like, oh, why would you want to starve yourself? Oh, that's not healthy. It comes along with all of those things. But in the absence of something else, I use it. But I really, really dislike the term, because for me now, it's just, don't even think about it. So tonight when I finish this, I'll show you what I'm going to have. So I'm going to have what I had yesterday. I've got my chicken left. There's a fair bit of chicken in there. So I'm going to have that, although not too much, because it's late and I probably won't eat it all. And I'm going to have, in fact, I'll probably have half of that chicken and save the other half for a wrap tomorrow. And I'm going to use my protein. Oh no, these are my water chestnuts and bamboo stir fry and the protein noodles. I made this yesterday. Oh my days, it was so good. These protein noodles, absolutely fabulous, really, really nice. And then I sort of drenched it in soy sauce. It's absolutely delicious. So I'm going to have that for my dinner tonight after this. So again, I'm getting in the, and if you saw me, I know some of you saw the live yesterday, which was meant for my membership, my members only, but that's okay. So that video is not available for the public, it's only available for the members. But if you saw me doing it, you'll see I don't weigh or measure anything. Just chuck it in. I'll go by eye and go by eye. That's the freedom that I want. That's the freedom that I work towards. And it was very satisfying. And I ended up chucking a little bit away. It was just too much. I was full. That's why I was debating about the protein. Yeah. And that's freedom for me. It's freedom. Yeah. But you have to get to a point of learning and educating. And I'll say this again, that with so many plans, so many programs out there, they don't educate you. They don't educate you about the weight loss and the health journey. The only thing they educate you on is how to use their program. I can go to Slimming World, I can go to Noom, I can go to any plan or program out there. They will spend ages educating me about their program. Why do you think that is? I'm going to leave that one with you. What do you think that one is? Why do you think they only educate you about their plan and their program and not teach you about weight loss, how weight loss happens, what causes weight loss? And when I say that, there's loads of different ways to lose weight. Why none of them teaching you that? Why none of them educating you? It's all about the moolah. It's all about the moolah. So anyway, guys, I hope you found that of interest. So yeah, I've done my shopping haul. If you've joined me at any point and you missed the first bit, feel free to go back and watch it. But I've done my shopping haul. I've changed what I'm going to have. I'm undecided what I'm going to have for lunch tomorrow. I think I'm going to finish that bit of chicken and have a wrap. Yeah. And yeah, and do you know what? I think I'm going to have is make some crudettes with me cucumber and my cucumber and me hummus instead of fruit as an alternative tomorrow. So I'll show you, I like to come on in the morning and show you. I'm going to come on earlier tomorrow because this morning, if you were with me this morning, I left after 8 and the traffic, I was like, no, not doing that again. So I'm going to leave out about 7:30, avoid all the traffic, and then I'll park up and I'll show you what I've got. So I'll do that tomorrow. I'll show you what I'm going to have tomorrow. I've shown you what I'm having tonight. I'll just have a small amount because of the time now. Hi, Rachel. Hello, my lovely. Hello, my darling. Done my shopping haul. We spoke about intermittent fasting, and yeah, that's the only thing I'm continuing to do. As well as using my noggin, using my brain, and going back to, what our ancestors did, that whole primal way of eating and living to continue my weight loss journey. And we're going to be doing a lot of this in our membership. So guys, if I'm sure most of you are aware, but just in case you haven't, I have launched a membership, brand new membership right here on the channel. We've got 3 levels. Our first level is $1.99 a month, and that's just a way if you want to say thank you for all this amazing content. Yeah, amazing content. You might just want to say, I'm just going to say thank you. I do believe things like super chats are also enabled. So again, you can, there's no obligation, but if you want to, feel free to make a donation, or you can buy me a coffee or PayPal. There's all of those methods there. But if you want support, then we do all sorts of things in our membership. We've got a private and a secret Facebook group. We're going to do Facebook Lives. There are exclusive YouTube lives, and I did the first one yesterday just for the members only. We're going to do meal planning just for the members, and meal plan reviews also just for the members. Also, just for members, we're going to have a Zoom, so a virtual Zoom meeting, so you could come on and talk about whatever you want and get support from the community. Absolutely anything you want. And then what else? And then we've got our social meetups as well. So if you want to meet up socially, that is also available to you. And we're planning our next meetup. We met in London last at the weekend. We're planning a meetup in Coventry in May, June, a theatre show, and then we've got another theatre show at the end of June. We've got lots of things happening, and then we've also got a meetup in August. That's another theatre show, and we're also finalising a cruise. I know. Check us out. So lots and lots of things going on. All of that is part of the membership. I ain't paying for the cruise for you though, guys. You're gonna have to pay the cruise for yourself. Yeah. I don't want you to think, oh, I'll sign up, and but you'll be able to come. All of that is $12.99 a month. And then if you want personal coaching, one-to-one coaching with me, there's a 20-minute session once a month, and that membership is $25.99, and you get everything, all the access plus coaching. And again, the coaching is all about personal development. Maybe that you want to develop your self-awareness, build your self-belief, build your confidence as well. Oh, and I forgot to mention, in the $12.99 membership, there's also going to be exclusive cooking demos as well. So all of that, the link is on the channel. It should be on the channel. When you see the big banner, Time Out with Angela, if you look immediately underneath, you'll see things like podcast, videos, lives, community. All these are tabs, and there should be a tab that says membership. If you click that, that should take you there. There's also where at the top where you've got my picture, there should be one that says subscribed if you're not subscribed, but in that area there should be a join link there. So it is on the channel, and I know it's there because I've had people sign up to it, so I know it's there. You just maybe need to just navigate and find it. But if all else fails, if you join me on Facebook, my Facebook page, if you were on the Facebook group, Time Out with Angela in brackets group, that is now closed. But there is a Facebook page called Time Out with Angela. If you scroll down, I've posted the link. So a few ways there. There we go, guys. There we go. Give me a thumbs up if you found this live of value, if you found it interesting. I've really enjoyed it today. I've really enjoyed it. So give this video a thumbs up, or this, I keep calling it a live a video. Give this live a thumbs up, and also leave me a comment as well. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Right, guys, I am off to make my chicken stir fry with soy sauce, and I'll see you tomorrow. Whatever you're doing, have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I'll see you very soon. Take care, guys. Bye.